Hey guys, Storm Kitkatz here, bringing you a nice warrior deck tech. With the new GVG metagame, Control Warrior is just the strongest deck in the format right now, and I want to show you guys my initial take on the deck, and then some changes you guys could make as the metagame adapts. So the first thing you'll notice is that there's only one Armorsmith and one Cruel Taskmaster in the deck. Cruel Taskmaster is one of those cards you want more towards the late of the game. You never really keep it in your early hand except versus Hunter, and the same thing is for Armorsmith. You don't keep it in your opening hand against any deck except Hunter. So these are two cards that are more situational, and so we cut down to one of each to just limit our chances of drawing them in the early game, but still have the ability to if we need to versus Hunter. It's like running one Zombie Chow in some decks to just gain some kind of control against Hunter, and just like have that card that just really helps you win the early game if you need it in that matchup, but still gives you a favorable matchup in control because you're only playing one of each now instead of two, so you can have more late game. And if you look at our late game, we have like Black Knight, Gorhal, Gromosh, Ragnaros, Alexstrasza. And then we have a stronger mid game too in the Bomb Lobber and Sludge Belchers. But yeah, let's move on to the next card. Explosive Sheep is a really great new card from GVG that really makes Warrior such a powerful deck. For example, like with Paladins now, a lot of them are playing the Muster for Battle combination that makes 3 1/1s and gives them a 1 for weapon, and they combine that with the Quartermaster, which gives all their 1/1s +2/+2, and so you can actually kill them all with Explosive Sheep and a Deathbite Whirlwind. So yeah, it just gives you a lot of flexibility and ways to deal with threats that you couldn't really deal with before. Like it reminds me a lot of like Barongeddon and stuff back in the days of when shamans could play Feral Spirits and have all these 2/3 creatures that were really difficult for Warrior to deal with. But with Explosive Sheep, you can have the ability to wipe all their totems, and you can also combine it, like I said, with Deathbite to Whirlwind to get that extra 1 point of damage on everything. So it's really powerful. It makes Warrior really flexible. It makes it really strong against aggressive like Hunter and Zoo decks, because not only does it hit the minion for 1, but if it kills the minion, the death rattle triggers afterwards, and then kills all the little death rattle guys, as long as you play it in response to the creature, which you should always do. That's one of the cool things about Explosive Sheep is that unlike Unstable Ghoul, Unstable Ghoul was a card that you would play before they even play minion. You didn't care because it was just a 1/3 taunt that like got out there. But Explosive Sheep is a card that you want to hold in your hand until after they play minion, and then you get them. Like you want to make them extend into the board, and then like you with 2 or maybe even 3 minions, and then you Explosive Sheep, and it puts them in a really precarious situation because not only do they have to attack it, because if they don't, you can just wait, right? Like, what if you just pass back? Like, what if you just put a creature down and pass? And like they have to kill it, and so it's one of those cards that it's like you get to decide how to use this card or force them to attack it and gain life, which is really cool. The next GVG card is Recombobulator, and so what this card does, it's a 2 mana 3/2, and its battle cry is transform a friendly minion into a random minion with the same cost. And basically, what this card does is it turns your cards that are not as valuable in the slots, like for example, like the Shield Maiden and the Bomb Lobber. Basically, after you play these cards, like you get the value from them, right? Like Shield Maiden gives you 5 armor, Bomb Lobber gives you 4 damage to random enemy minion, but for Bomb Lobber, like right after you play Bomb Lobber, you can just recombobulate it into another 5-drop. And that can give you like Sludge Belcher, it can give you, like the Venture Code Mercenary, it can give you so many cool things. Or like maybe even a 3/6 Fen Creeper taunt. Like it can give you so many things that are better than a 3/3 body. This is really one of the weakest drops at 5. So recombobulating is just like a really good value play from it. And at a 2 mana 3/2, it's fine, right? It's just like like playing a Bloodfen Raptor. It's not like great, but the value you get from the battle cry is so huge. But what's really cool, what I really like to do is when you play Shield Maiden, right, and then you attack one of their minions. So like maybe you attack their Chillwind Yeti, and so now your Shield Maiden's a 5/1, and you recombobulate it. It's gonna gain all its life back when it turns into a new minion. And the 6-drops are so powerful, right? You have Karin, Sylvanas, Illidan. You have all these Hogger. You've got all these great, powerful, legendary 6-drops that are like, because 6-slot is like one of the most powerful slots in the game. And you can do the same thing with Black Knight, because these cards, they don't get any more value after you already attack a minion with it. And that's kind of like what was always troublesome about Warrior. It's like if you play versus Druid, right? Like your 5/5 like Sylvanas or something would kill their Chillwind Yeti, or your Black Knight would kill their Chillwind Yeti with a Cruel Taskmaster pinging their guy for 1 afterwards. And you'd be left with this guy that they can just hero power away. This takes away the value they can gain with their hero power, which is kind of like what Warrior was having trouble with, because all the other hero powers like Mage, Warlock, and Druid, all their hero powers can help them clean up small HP minions. But warriors always had a whirlwind and just like get card disadvantage like from cards like that. But what Recombobulator does, it takes away the advantage that your opponent gets from your hero power, and then, so it just mitigates their hero power, right? And just makes you that much stronger, because your hero power can't ever be mitigated. It's just always 2 armor. And so yeah, that's one of the really cool things you can do with Recombobulator. Also, at Alexstrasza at the 9-drop, if we take a look at the 9-drops here, so yeah, and if you recombobulate Alexstrasza, you can get Malagos, Mechaneer Thermoplug, Nozdormu. I actually got a Nozdormu versus the player Backspace in a practice match, and he literally lost his turn because he had so much stuff to do, and it just like it popped right as my rope was burning to like about to end, and then like I recombobulated my Alexstrasza and got Nozdormu. I immediately passed to him, and he literally could not play all of his spells fast enough. It was so funny. But like yeah, like if you attack a minion with Alexstrasza, like say they have Sludge Belcher, right, and you just like attack a Sludge Belcher, then you just recombobulate it, you can get all these cool things. You can also get Ysera, but most importantly, it just heals it back up to a really powerful minion. So you just keep getting value out of your cards that you've already gotten value from. That's the power of Recombobulator. Let's go back to our deck list now. So all these other cards were just already in Warrior before: Execute, Shield Slam, Fiery War Axe, Shield Block, Acolyte Pain, Dustbite, Brawl. Bomb Lobber is a new addition with GVG, and what this card does is, like, in a metagame where people are playing 4 health minions, 4 or below health minions, Bomb Lobber is extremely powerful. So my interpretation with GVG is at the start that people would still be playing some of the older decks like Druid, Handlock, and Shaman. Bomb Lobber is extremely good against all those decks. Just because it does 4 damage, and like that's something you can just use. Like say like you Despite on turn 4, right? They play their Giant on turn 4, and then you just Bomb Lobber hit it. So that's 8 damage, right? And you still have a 3/3 in play, and your second charge of your weapon. So it's extremely powerful in dealing with Handlock. And it just gives you really great board control. Like if Druid charge Druid of the Claw, you know, making it a 4/4 haste or charge minion and attack you, you can just Bomb Lobber it back and kill it and have a 3/3 left. So Druids cannot do that to you anymore, right? With this card in the metagame, they have to just put the Druid of the Claw on taunt, and that's exactly what Warrior wants, because Warrior just doesn't want to get rushed down. We want to make it to the late game and get our giant legendaries like Grommash, Ragnaros, Alexstrasza, get Gorehowl active, and if we force them to put it in taunt, right, you know what card really takes advantage of that? Black Knight, which is why the brilliance of this these 2 cards, combining them in the same deck, is so such a powerful play. Sludge Belchers obviously were in Warrior before, they just maintained that. Shield Maiden is the coolest new card in GVG. It's probably like maybe the 2nd or 3rd most powerful card in the set. And basically what this card does is it's unlike, it's very similar to this Sylvanas, right? Not very similar, but what Sylvanas does is it forces your opponent to attack Sylvanas, right? So you play Sylvanas on 6, they now need to decide, do they want to suicide all their minions, or like risk a brawl where you just take their minion and destroy all their minions, or get more value out of Sylvanas by just attacking and eventually stealing a minion, right? So Sylvanas forces them into a situation where they have to decide, do they want to just go all face or suicide everything into Sylvanas and then pass you back with priority? And that's what this card does. Shield Maiden is very similar, right? Because the reason why you couldn't really play Karin before is it just didn't do anything like that. Like they would never attack Karin; they would just always attack your face. But because they can just ignore Karin, right? And like your Karin can only kill 1 creature a turn. But Shield Maiden is very different because when it comes into play, it gives you 5 life, which is such a huge amount. Like Hunter, Rush, and Zudex, that 5 life is such an incredible difference because, like, you have not only do you have a 5/5 minion, but you have more life. So they have to decide, well, nah, fuck. Like, do I just let this guy keep killing like 2 or 3 minions with Shield Maiden and gain the life, so like my attacks don't even do anything anyway? Or do we just keep going face? And it puts them in a really difficult situation. Not only that, but like I said, once you start attacking minions with Shield Maiden, you can recombobulate into another great 6-drop. And so it's so much synergy, and it forces your opponent to a lot of really bad and tough decisions to make, which is what you want to do with any deck. You want your opponent to be thinking really difficultly about like the plays, but your plays are relatively simple compared to theirs. You know, you just play this guy out. They have to be the one to decide to go face or trade, or what do they want to do with the rest of their game plan now, because this changes everything. Not only that, it can combine with Shield Slam. Say you save your coin, you go 6 Shield Maiden, coin Shield Slam, or you just play it on 7 and you go combine it with Shield Slam later. With so much armor cards, it's really difficult for a Hunter to ever get you right. You've got the 1 Armor Smith, the double Shield Block, double Shield Maiden. That's so much life. And yeah, so like I said, the Black Knight was in here to combine, because the Bomb Lobber forces them to taunt, and Black Knight just takes advantage of that card. Gorehowl is a really great addition back into the deck, which it seems like a lot of weapons, right? Like we have 5 weapons, but you just use these pretty recklessly early. Like you always keep the Fiery War Axe, and Despite you can keep against non-aggressive decks. You can keep it versus like Warrior, you can keep it versus Handlock, you can keep it versus Shaman, Priest, but you don't want to keep it versus like Zoo or Hunter. Those are just like, you end up dying if you do that. Chromosh, Ragnaros, Alexstrasza, obviously always the late game inclusion cards in the deck. But yeah, that's the Warrior list. It's really, really powerful in this metagame. I just hit Legend with it last night. Yeah, and so try this deck out, guys. It's really, really fun. And if you go to the Tempo Storm website, I'm going to have a mulligan guide up there for you guys pretty soon, the next day or two at least. And whenever our new website comes out, that's when the mulligan guides are going to come out. I'm going to give you guys an extensive breakdown upon what cards you're looking for to keep, what cards you're looking for to mulligan, and what specific matchups, and if it changes upon like different archetypes. For example, like Mech Hunter versus just like Aggro Hunter, or Ebola Hunter, as most people know it as. So yeah, I'm going to really help you guys out with that and really teach you how to play the game in depth. And yeah, so look forward to that. And also, I wanted to show just like one more interesting thing. This card, Dr. Boom, is incredible. I'm definitely adding it to the Warrior deck over probably Black Knight. I'll do another video updating the deck list. I have a newer deck list, but this one's really good to start with. And once you're able to play this one, you can move on to the next deck list. And I'll make another video for that in a couple days. But yeah, definitely try this out, because like you need to understand how to play this list before you can move on. Anyway, I hope you guys really liked the video, and you're going to learn a lot from the matchup versus RDU, which is coming up next. We're playing a best of 5 to help him prepare for the Deck Wars tournament versus Firebat. And yeah, so have a great day, guys, and hope you come back.